everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista here doing the weekly reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for the week of December 12th through the 19th. With the moon currently in Virgo this weekend and Mercury in retrograde during the sun's transit in Sagittarius, I'm going to be doing the theme of what needs revising this week. So anything that you can attach the prefix re in front of, reinvent, revise, re-edit, reinvest. We're going to be looking at that theme. So what needs revising this week while the moon is in Virgo, and then we can look at practical steps on how to do that. So this is a general reading for your sign, whatever is most prominent in your life. I encourage you to take these messages and apply them to, and I hope that you find them helpful and healing. So what is it that Taurus needs to revise this week? At first glance, I think that you feel like something's out of reach for you, or something has been out of reach. Could be attitudinal, that that's the case right now. It's not actually out of reach for you. But that there is some sort of resistance, personal, political, religious, psychological resistance, even emotional, to getting to the other side of what needs revisiting here. First thing we're noticing is the round and round. This is something that's creating a little bit of a hamster wheel in your heart and your mind and your soul. Something really needs to be taken to task here because it's taking on a life of its own. The round and round card represents you. This could also represent something that feels fated, which is a little bit different than karma. Something that feels like a little bit of a trap, right? It's a little bit different than karma in the sense where there's sort of a karmic debt where we can pay this off eventually, or we can, if we're aware of this, we can work to pay this off. With a fate, or what we consider a fate, what we can imagine around this is that things will never change. This is just your what we call them, your, just desserts, right? It's what you deserve. So I think you might be feeling that you're trapped around something, and you might be feeling that there's no way out of this for some reason, because you feel duty bound to it, because you feel like you deserve it. But this does need revisiting this week because there is a way out of this. Especially if this is bringing lower vibrational or lower frequencies into your week, Taurus. It's going to feel like it's something external to you, right? You can't control it. Fate, karma, whatever we want to call it. Which is really slippery, sloping into being a victim of fate and karma, isn't it? Especially if you feel like you've taken an action or been forced to take an action that's against your will here, or that you would rather have not have done. There's a tie here, okay, to that. So what is being suggested this week is that you figure out what that is. And this is the week to take practical steps, right? With the moon in Virgo, currently during the transit of this reading, to explicitly point out how to get away from what's trapped you, or how you feel trapped. Because it's really important that you're liberated from this. You see, the sun is currently in transit in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the philosopher, right? And it's also the joker. And it's also willing to keep moving. You got to keep going. Look for higher ground. Look for a way to improve yourself while having a little bit of fun. And this is where we're going to be feeling a little bit trapped here. What needs revising? The wheels that are spinning. They're not doing you any good anymore. The reason I know that this is a continuum for you is because you've been going with the flow. You've made no move here, probably out of a sense of protection. I'm not picking on you at all. I'm saying this is what any human being does, right? This woman isn't even looking where she's going. Now, the seas aren't stormy, but there's fog everywhere. She cannot see behind her. She cannot see in front of her. But it's almost like she doesn't want to. So whatever this is probably going to be painful. But I mean, how long do you want to live like this, right? How long do you want to live with your nose down? Even with the apparatus here to see where you're going. Even with another apparatus to tell which direction you're going. And it's very lonely here. You may feel like no one even understands this. Because this is how traps work, right? This is how traps work. And I don't care if they're personally induced, socially induced, relationally induced. It doesn't matter how this trap is induced, how you got there, how you thought you were going to get. I don't care, and you don't care about that. That's not even important right now. What matters right now is you say, what needs revising about the situation I'm in right now where I feel like I'm in a bit of a trap and I can't even look at it because it's so painful. And this is a really good week for you to say, I've identified it. I trust that I can move through this. I'm going to make a definitive plan that is simple and easy, but effective for me to move through this. This could mean something as simple as, and it's just an example, I realize something happened. I realize how much it's tied me. I realize that I'm in a trap. I'm going to go talk to a professional about this. I'm going to start changing my behaviors, my thought patterns, my habits, etc., etc., etc. And then literally just create a list of things that you plan to do to commit yourself to getting away from something that feels like a trap or that feels like it's taking over because it's swimming over and over and over in your mind and your heart. And this is what it promises, right? Your probable outcome is a new life. Your promised release from this. And if you're interested, like I am, in self-liberation, right? And in possibilities, then this is going to appeal to you. But these are two different worlds, Taurus. You cannot reach a new life through inaction and through floating, getting by. This is literally going with the flow, right? The To the Sea card. Going with the flow. This very likely is also an emotional avenue for you, or it's an emotional concern for you, which why would you want to look at it? What one of us wants to look at an emotional, painful situation? Again, I'm not picking on you. This is a human condition. None of us want to face emotional sorrows, right? But it's important that you're free. It's important that you liberate yourself. Because all we have is right now. And this is all we have to create our future with. If we keep doing this, I'm not going to look where I'm going, I'm going to stay trapped. Not going to look where I'm going, I'm going to stay trapped. Not going. Holy cow. Like, what kind of life is this? How long can someone do this and then like claim happiness or claim joy here? So if liberation is important to you, it's essential that you take a look at what this is particularly if this is an emotional matter and you take steps, definitive steps to create a new life. You want to get out of a self-imposed or a social, religious, psychological, political, whatever, imposed should-ism on you. You should do it this way. You should say that. You should, okay? It's time to break free from that. Here we have your general energy being blessed. This is really, for the first time in my life, and I never thought I'd say this, for the first time, I'm going to suggest, yes, you are blessed. But don't rest on these laurels, Taurus. Don't rest here. Yes, you're blessed. Yes, you have everything you need and could want, and you have access to resources, and you have access to healing, and you probably know what the problem is, and you probably know that you've been drifting, and you probably know that it's just a matter of taking steps. I think you know all this. And it is a measure of being blessed. And you ought not to take that for granted. You don't need to take this for granted, but what you need to do is to say, I'm not going to rest on my laurels around this. In fact, Taurus, you may be so blessed that you're taking something for granted here. You're taking the fact that you have agency here for granted. You can help yourself right now. Even if it means getting help through someone else. Even if it means your body is in a state of disrepair. I'm going to go start getting massages. I'm going to start getting physio. That's really all it means here. The blessed part is saying I have access to physio. I have insurance to cover, what you need in order to get through processing something, revisiting something, so you can put it to rest finally and move on in this new life for yourself. That's the blessed part. But we can also rest on our laurels, right? We can also say, yeah, I know it's available, but I'll do it later. Or, someone else needs it more than I do. This week, Taurus, you're that person who needs it more than the next person. I'm telling you. If you're thinking someone needs it more than you do this week, if that's cropping up in your mind, you're the person that needs it more than the other person, okay? I just feel here that you've been putting yourself second for a long time, maybe third or fourth or worse. The gathering, okay? This is where we're looking at. You need to gather your strength. You need to gather your resolve, gather information, gather the commitment, the vow, the will to say, you know what? I'm not willing to be trapped anymore. Only you know what it is you're trapped in too. I can't decide that for you. All my Taurians have different issues and traumas. Look at this. Look at this. Blessed. Blessings. This is the week for you, Taurus. I'm telling you, you can get away from a stranglehold this week. You can move on from something. When you make the vow to yourself that you're willing to look up, I'm going to look the world, I'm going to look my days straight in the eye, and I'm going to take responsibility, and I'm going to shift my focus to just drifting to I have a direction. And you make that vow to yourself, and you'll have everything you need to do that this week. So Taurus, I wish you the best of luck here. Please, please take good care of yourselves. Comment below. I love hearing from you. And subscribe to my channel and like my videos. That really helps me out as well. Until we meet in the next video, take excellent care of yourselves, my dear Taurians. I will see you next time. Bye for now.